ためにもルカリオもっと強くなんないと。そのためには会いに行こうぜ月光ガニ。
Hey everyone, it's Mark. As you all know by now, Ash's Greninja is returning in the next episode of Pokémon Journeys. This is massive news because of how much hype there is surrounding Greninja. I mean, the comment sections of my videos for years has been filled with "I hope Greninja returns," or "I wish Greninja would come back," and stuff like that. I've said it before and I will say it again, in my personal opinion, I don't think Greninja is like the coolest Pokemon ever. I mean, don't get me wrong, he'd probably be one of my favorite Ash Pokemon ever if the hardcore Greninja fans weren't so... Let's just move on. In this video, I'm going to talk about what Greninja's return means and how it may affect Pokemon Journeys going forward. Be sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and let's get started. Pokemon Journeys episode 108 is going to be titled Lucario and Koga, the Wave Guidance of Destiny. A quick translation of this would be Lucario and Greninja, the Aura of Destiny. For those who don't know, wave guidance is usually the term for aura in the original Japanese version of the anime, and I think throughout this video I'm going to be discussing the role that aura plays in all of this. Anyways, let's touch on the initial reaction to Greninja's return before going any further. I feel like this is an example of Pokemon Journeys really listening to its fans, giving us a Greninja return when I'm not sure it makes the most narrative sense. Who knows, maybe there were plans for Greninja to return from the start of this series, but I feel like they are making a big deal about Greninja returning right at the beginning of the much-hyped climax of Pokemon Journeys, because they know how much anticipation there is for Greninja to return in the anime. I found it very strange a few weeks ago when they actively did not promote Serena's return to the anime. That seemed like a strange marketing strategy to me. But this time around, I feel like I know exactly what they're doing. Like I mentioned before, the climax of Pokemon Journeys is something they are really getting behind. From that special preview they released on the 25th anniversary of the anime to the special preview they just released for Ash vs. Raihan, clearly the anime wants us to get excited for the last few months of Pokemon Journeys. Of course, I have been excited about Pokemon Journeys the entire way through, but I know I may not be the best representation of the fanbase as a whole, since there are a lot of fans of the Pokemon anime who haven't really been loving Journeys, and the series just isn't their cup of tea. Compare that to the XY series, which back when that was airing was arguably the most popular the anime has been in years. Not only is the anime a lot different from back then, but so are the viewers as well. Think about it, people who were loving XY and XYZ are now 6 years older than they were when XY went off the air. That means that we are all probably in a different stage of our lives than we were back when Ash Greninja was on our screens dominating the competition. So really, it's not surprising to me that there are a lot of lapsed fans of the anime who aren't super invested in the anime currently. We all go through stages with the things we are fans of, and I think it's only natural for someone to feel differently about a television show than they did 6 years ago, especially when that show has changed as much as the Pokemon anime has. So how does the anime get some of those lapsed fans back on side ahead of the climactic final stages of Pokemon Journeys? Well, not only do we just have all of Ash's Kalos companions return, but now Greninja is back? Yeah, that'll get people talking. It's brilliant, really. Draw some lapsed fans back in with some of their favorite characters returning, including one of the most popular Pokemon that Ash has ever owned, and then don't waste any time showing them what's to come in Pokemon Journeys, with the hope being that some of those lap fans stick around and check out what happens next. And with the entire premise of Pokemon Journeys episode 108 being based on Ash and Lucario training for their battle against Raihan, which will be in the very next episode, it's just so obvious to me how this is a masterstroke in promotion from the Pokemon anime. It is funny to me though how the thing that anime is probably more excited for is Ash vs. Raihan, and Ash making it into the Master Class. But in order to get the fans excited for that, they have decided to make an episode about Ash's Greninja returning, and that's honestly what way more people care about. There is way more hype for Greninja coming back than there is for Ash in the Masters 8. Okay, so those are all of my thoughts about why I think Greninja is returning, so now let's discuss what is actually going to happen in this episode, and what it could mean going forward. I'll preface this by saying that I actively avoid episode summaries and any kind of leaked material, so honestly everything I'm going off in this video is just speculation from what I know from the preview and episode title. I genuinely try my hardest to avoid any kind of spoilers for the Pokemon anime, however, I did hear some talk about Lucario potentially learning a new move in this episode. I'm not really sure what that could be, but it's also possible that Ash and Lucario could be gaining some kind of new ability. I'm not really sure if the anime wants to go down a similar route to the Bond phenomenon and give Ash and Lucario some kind of new form like they did with Ash Greninja, especially since Lucario already has a powered up form, that being Mega Evolution. Why would they go through all the stuff with Ash and Lucario obtaining Mega Evolution just for them to unlock some kind of Aura Burst form instead? Look, I'm not saying something like that won't happen, but I just don't think it's incredibly likely. I want to go back to what I mentioned earlier about Aura being referred to as Wave Guidance or Wave Guiding in the original Japanese version of the anime. Although Aura is something we generally only associate with Lucario, I think Wave Guidance has a little bit more of a general connotation. Maybe that's just in my head, but let's run with it for now. We know that Ash and Lucario have some kind of aura connection. It's somewhat telepathic, and in all honesty is a little similar to what Ash and Greninja experienced back in XY. This screenshot comes from the preview of this episode, and honestly I have no clue what is actually going on here. My best guess is that Lucario and Greninja are attempting to communicate or interact using some kind of frequency similar to wave guiding. They are both able to communicate with Ash in a way, so maybe their connection to their trainer is actually more similar than we think. We have also seen plenty of imagery of Ash and Lucario in this weird blue hue. Obviously, it looks visually similar to the way Ash and Greninja would become synchronized through the Bond phenomenon, and we have also seen shots of Ash's Greninja bathed in that same blue light in the promotion for its upcoming return. So what does all of this mean anyways? Well, to answer that, I want to point to one of the scenes from the special preview of Ash vs. Raihan. In this shot, it looks like Lucario is dodging Max Steel Spike, and notice the blue glow around Lucario. To me, this is pretty clearly some kind of heightened aura ability between Ash and Lucario. We saw back in XY that Ash and Greninja were able to become so synchronized that it was almost like they were moving as one, and I think a similar concept is going on with Lucario here. It's using its aura to help dodge, and I think this has come as a result of its training with Greninja. So even though Greninja is getting the headlines here, don't be mistaken. The main purpose of this episode is going to be to develop Ash's Lucario, and if it wasn't already a force to be reckoned with, it really will be after this episode. The last point of discussion to really tackle here is what Greninja will do beyond this episode. Quite frankly, my prediction is absolutely nothing. I think Greninja is just going to be back for one episode, it will help Lucario power up, and then it will go back off on its quest to help fight against the roots of the giant rock. I know a lot of people get really frustrated thinking about Greninja being away from Ash because of this weird plot about the remnants of the giant rock still being around, but I do honestly think this will continue to be the reason why Greninja is MIA from the anime even after this episode. But hey, this episode proves that even though Greninja isn't back at Oak's lab, Ash can still reunite with it. And do I think Ash will reunite with Greninja later to help win the Master Class? No I don't. Not at all. Don't get your hopes up. That's basically everything I want to say about Ash's Greninja's return. I had no clue what this video was going to be about, but I had a title and thumbnail idea that I thought would do well, so I just sat down and started writing this script and didn't stop until it was at least 8 minutes, and now here we are at the end of it. Let me know what you think will happen with Ash, Greninja, and Lucario down in the comments below, and be sure to like this video if you haven't already. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel so you don't miss my review of episode 108 after it drops later this week. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.